are here at Jackpot at 4485 South Jones. Come on down and check them out. This is the Franchise Sports Media. It is a WrestleMania special edition, and I had to bring in the big guns. I got some special guests with me. Franchise own, Mr. Joe Rigo.
The big Jobowski wants to know what's bigger, Dmon's arms or Kalani's dick. I say neither. The big Jobowski's bigger than both.
Okay? Didn't know I was going to get thrown on the bus so soon, but nonetheless, we strive on. From ESPN Radio, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dmon Cotton.
Well, if we're gonna start doing impressions, I think that I should bust out a little Macho Man on Joe Rigo. It's only fitting as I'm wearing the Macho Man jersey. But yes, I'm Dmon Cotton, ESPN Las Vegas, former professional wrestler myself over at FSW here in Vegas. You should check them out if you've got the chance. Great stuff that they always put out.
Let me talk to you now. If we're going to be doing impressions, I need both of you to sit here to hit you guys on me and know your roles and shut your mouths, okay? Right now, I'll take you both down to the SmackDown Hotel. It's right there on Jabroni Drive and Know Your Role Boulevard. We'll check into room 316, burn that sumbitch to the down, stop a mud hole in both of you, and walk it dry.
Well, I just gotta say, man, I mean, you just came with lines that wasn't really an impression.
For real.
You went.
You went into. I thought you started off with doing the Rock.
So did I.
And then
I thought it was like Stone Cold.
Hey. Shut up, bitch.
Oh, well, with that being said, let's dive into it right now. Guys, WrestleMania 40 is here. Historic event. It's been a tremendous build-up. They're doing it in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Yeah. It is awesome. What are you guys' thoughts on it being in Philadelphia, which is a fantastic wrestling town? I will start off with Joe Rigo.
I love you.
Brother love.
Brother love.
Yes,
No. Best possible place to do it for this WrestleMania, man. It's a great wrestling town. It's a hard nose. The history of wrestling there is deep and enthralled with just a lot of great wrestling. Period. Brotherly love, the city of brotherly love, the Liberty Bell. They're gonna be cracking skulls, cracking necks, taking bumps, not like that at a Diddy party. They're gonna be doing a bunch of things. I love it. I love the fact that it's there. It's a great card both nights.
What are your thoughts on it being in the city of brotherly love? Home of also Rocky Balboa and Joe Frazier.
well, I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta go impression for impression with Joe Rigo.
Okay.
Yo,
All right.
he hits, you hit back.
Gotcha.
So I'm just gonna keep doing, like, every time you throw to one of us until he taps out no Diddy, I'm gonna keep going with an impression to match him.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I love it. Let's do it.
But you mentioned Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. I think that this is a perfect place for WrestleMania to be. Paul Heyman going into the Hall of Fame. You've got to have that the lore of ECW, the promotion that its legacy and mythos has exceeded its actual popularity during its time, and you got to give that to the city of Philadelphia because it breeds those hardcore wrestling fans. Lincoln Financial Field, where the Eagles play, the team, the city that booed Santa Claus, where you've got a town that is hard-nosed, that is blue-collar. So when you bring WrestleMania to a historic wrestling town like this, even though it's a global event, it's just, sometimes a big event, it takes the shape of the city that it's in. And I think that this WrestleMania is going to have that. How do you top Hollywood? You bring it to Philly and you add The Rock.
It's been a tremendous build-up, and I love that you said I'm going to piggyback off of it. It's a hardcore fan base. And that is important because in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, WWE is putting into the Hall of Fame Paul Heyman, the godfather of it all, from Paulie Dangerously to ECW to now being an advocate, and then also being a wise man for the tribal chief. Paul Heyman going into the Hall of Fame in his backyard of Philadelphia. Dmon, you brought it up, so I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Paul Heyman getting his flowers going into the Hall of Fame?
I think that it's great that he's going into the Hall of Fame. He is a legend, but I do think that it's too soon. I'm not ready to see Paul Heyman go into the Hall of Fame just yet.
Okay.
Because I think that he's still got so much more to give to this industry. Where Roman Reigns, he says, we're only in the third inning, y'all. We still got a lot more ball game left. I do think that that's how Paul Heyman sees it as well, where there's just so much. Hey man, listen to me now. There's just so much that this bloodline story has to offer. And I think that Paul Heyman, he is doing some of the best work of his career. And I know some of the times where it can be even the smallest things that makes me pop. The 2 cell phones where he's got one for The Rock, one for Roman Reigns. Call Roman Reigns. Just at the end of a show. I love what Paul Heyman's doing right now. And I know you can give a man his flowers now, but just for me personally, it makes sense. I understand. It makes all the logistical sense in the world why he's going into the Hall of Fame. But when I look back on Paul Heyman's legendary career from being a picture guy back in the late 70s, I still think he's still got more to give. So I'm not ready to give him his flowers yet. What if he starts thinking about retirement? I can't see him go yet.
This is true. What say you, Joe?
I think it's the perfect time for Paul Heyman to go in. Look at what he's meant to wrestling. ECW made the Attitude Era. Vince McMahon stole the Attitude Era from ECW. Let's be real about it. You had guys like New Jack that were setting the table, the bar higher than anybody else. There's nobody in WWE except for Mankind. Mick Foley's the only one I think that did the crazy shit like New Jack. Yes. Honestly, maybe the Hardy Boys too. You know, if we're being real about it.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Dudley Boys too, yeah. Yeah.
Was they got from ECW?
Exactly. See, point taken. So he redefined it. Plus, I think really you go back to the promo he did a few years ago with Vince McMahon, where he's in the ring and he really let Vince have it. He told Vince about himself. He said, "You stole my legacy, my kids' legacy. You stole our dreams." He went off script.
Yeah.
So when he did that, he poured himself out, and I know he went off on Taz. Taz comes in, lays him out, but it was genuine. I actually felt it. I think it's perfect for Paul Heyman to do it in that city, with the history of that city and his history there. Congratulations to Paul Heyman, man. And really, The Rock's grandmother too. Let's not forget about her being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
That's way long overdue. Talking about it's too soon. That's way overdue. What she meant to the history of wrestling in general.
The Hall of Fame is the interesting one because, like you said, sometimes you do have some that have waited a long enough time to get their flowers. Some might get it a little bit too soon. I would like it if a wrestler is retired, they don't do it immediately the next year. Undertaker, he retires, then it's the next year. Shawn Michaels, he retires, it's the next year. While it's great, to me, I feel like, okay, but then you don't get that buildup of them being away. And then when they show the highlight reels, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Because everything's still fresh in your mind. We're wrestling fans. We don't forget a whole lot. But like the NFL, basketball, if you wait 5 years, let's say 3 years for pro wrestling, it gives that a little bit out of mind so that when they come back, you're like, oh, damn, I forgot they did all this. Like with The Rock's grandmother, you start looking back at some of the old footage, you're like, I remember seeing this as a kid or in highlight reels, whatever it may be. I love the fact that he's going in there because life is short. You never know what's going to happen. Knock on wood. But I'm with you as well. I can't wait to see what's going on next with the Wise Men, the Bloodline. We're going to get into that later on in the show right here on Franchise Sports Media. We're at the Jack Spot. Make sure you guys come on down and check them out. Great stuff here. I wanted to ask you guys this now. Joe, I'm going to start with you on here. What are your thoughts on the build-up? We've had WrestleMania is huge. We know that. But there's been some times where it almost felt like we're excited just because it's WrestleMania. This one feels like I can't miss WrestleMania. I need to do whatever I got to do. Kids, you need to go to sleep. If you're not, oh well, it is what it is. I don't care about school the next day. What are your thoughts on this build-up for WrestleMania 40?
Let me tell you, brother. Let me tell you what it means for WrestleMania and what's happening this year. Let me tell you, Hulkamaniacs.
No, I'm just kidding. That was pretty good one. That was pretty good. Because I like that. Look at that. I know, fuck Hulk Hogan.
He wasn't like us, but yeah, that's cool.
But no, look, honestly, I think Triple H has done a fantastic job with the build-up of this WrestleMania. I think it started before last WrestleMania in LA. I think the whole Will Cody finished this story, the Bloodline, and then you bring in The Rock. You didn't finish the story, you bring in The Rock, now you got this storyline. Is The Rock going to headline with him in Philly? No, he's not. It's going to be Cody. I wonder, though, if CM Punk didn't tear his tricep, would this have been the main event? Or would they have pivoted? I think they may have pivoted from Cody being that main event to being the main event, I guess, so to say. I'm curious to that, but I think Triple H has done a great job. The whole card for the 2 days is phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, across the board, I know you probably know. I mean, off the top, I'm not going to go off the top. Yeah. I'm not going to go off the top. I'm not going to steal thunder. But I do think that this card in general, for 2 days, is going to be hot. It's going to be heavy. I think we're going to love it. And like, I got people calling me today, talking to me about WrestleMania. This homie's calling me that I didn't even know watched WrestleMania. Like, hey, kid called, hey, my son wants to get WrestleMania. Like, where do we watch it at? Well, go to Peacock, get out.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And he's like, yeah, like, I haven't watched it, but I want to watch it because I heard you guys talking about it, and now I want to get on it. And I'm like, cool. So now it's and I think, too, it's a modern-day attitude era. You see it with The Rock, the way he's selling these promos. I'm interested to see what happens when Netflix takes over in January and what it's really going to be. Because I think it's going to be no holds barred. This Rock, that we're seeing this version of The Rock, is my favorite version of The Rock by far.
Well, Monsoon, you don't know what you're talking about. Jesse Ventura here. Maybe you didn't know the voice
No.
of Jesse Ventura.
But now I got you.
Former governor.
Yeah, former governor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, so how about you brush up on your history?
But this build here, no, this has been fantastic. Where sometimes with WrestleMania, as you said, it's, hey, we're going to get excited for WrestleMania, but every match on the card is something that I do want to see, whether it comes from something that people, because I'd say maybe a month or two out, people were saying, man, when they going to start giving us the matches? And not much has been announced. But even the things that have only ramped up in the past couple of weeks, let's say on SmackDown, AOP and Karrion Kross, the Final Testament, taking on the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, where that's something, give me that.
Yes.
I like the Street Profits, Bobby Lashley.
Do you like the fact that they try to go heel, they try to turn them heel, and they couldn't?
I love it when you just got to give the people what they want. Because some people, they're not going to get booed. The Street Profits, they're not going to get booed. Bobby Lashley, after a while, he's going to get cheered as well. And I do like with Karrion Kross. Yes, I'm a little biased. He's a Vegas guy. Kross.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal.
So I love the work that he's doing. Also on the SmackDown side, just the build for, man, they got some real bangers on this card. Oh, Jade Cargill, when are we going to see her debut? Saw her at the Royal Rumble. Comes in, makes the save, looks like $1 million. So now you got Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi taking on Damage Control.
Ooh. Hey, Damage Control is no joke.
Can I ref that match?
Those ladies right there for Damage Control are no joke. They are phenomenal. And the fact that they're going to get a test from a physicality standpoint and athleticism standpoint and a smart standpoint too. You got to say that for two. But you're already going to get that in Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, and what they can do. Paired up with the finesse and toughness of Damage Control, that might damn near still be part of the show right there.
We're LA Knight, AJ Styles, you give me the home invasion angle in any wrestling storyline, I'm all in. Because maybe you can say, man, why are these two guys feuding? I love how this goes back to AJ Styles. He took my spot in the match with Roman Reigns, so that's why I don't like LA Knight. Where there's just so much on this card. Gunther and Sami Zayn, Chad Gable waiting in the wings. Like, that should have been his shot. The Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, as Gunther likes to say, got to have the heavyweight. Where there's so many matches. Dom and Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Carlito, what's his role going to be in all this? Because we know that he didn't like it. He got snubbed by getting passed over by Dragon Lee. So there are just so many matches on this card where you can say this build has been amazing leading it up. Where it comes to Philadelphia, even like all the media around it, where this week we've seen Cody on First Take. Yep. Roman Reigns and The Rock on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, where like the build-up, they want you to know that WrestleMania is in town, is on this week, and you cannot miss this.
Pat McAfee has WrestleMania Thursdays.
Yes, he does. He does. But let me tell you something before we get to Pat McAfee. Okay, we talk about all these wrestlers here. Let me tell you where the best wrestlers in the world come from. They come from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where they take care of their old and they take care of their young. You know why? Because when you come up there, you come across the Hart family. Because we're the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Bret Hart owning the original, the real Intercontinental Championship belt, passing it down to everyone else. Gunther has really made the IC title something special. It's been a long, long time. I had to throw a little impression there because I felt left out with you guys keep doing it, and I wasn't doing one, so I didn't try to do a Bret Hart one. But Gunther really has made the IC title so relevant where, like you said, you got to throw in the heavyweight title. How's that going to pan out? It's mind-blowing. This is one of those, like you mentioned, talked about. I don't know if there's a match on there that I'm looking like, why is that on there? Every single match on there, I'm thoroughly excited for. We're going to get into predictions in a little bit. I want to ask you guys this. With the build-up, with everything that's been going on till then, for the actual fight card, no predictions, do you want to see a lot of tomfoolery, or do you want to see most of these matches go head up and let's just find out who is the actual best? Or do you want some interference? Do you want some run-ins? Do you want some surprises? What are your thoughts on that before we get into breaking down the matches?
You know, I think for me, I want a little bit of both. I think in certain matches, like when I look at the match with Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca versus Damage Control, I want there to be some tomfoolery in that. I want to see something happen in there because I'll get into the prediction later. I think this is something that bodes well for Jade going forward. Because I think she's a superstar in the making. I want to see some tomfoolery in Jade versus Jimmy. I want to see that. That's an intriguing matchup. And for me, to have two twin brothers who have the lineage that they have with Rikishi being their pops, like this is a dream come true for them all. They said going into after last year, this is the match they wanted to have. Yeah. So for me, I want to see a little bit of both. There's also some matches that personally I want to see and just let them wrestle. Gunther and Sammy, I want to see that. I want to see how that works out because the whole Sammy mental health angle, I kind of dig that, especially in today's day and age. And the fact that Gunther has been so dominant.
Yes.
I mean, like, I think the most, no disrespect to Bret Hart, to me, the most dominant Intercontinental Champion since him was probably the Ultimate Warrior. He was running through people as an IC champion.
What?
All the Warriors will tell you the same thing.
I mean, I get that. Ain't none of them up there. Rest in peace. You think the best IC champion since Bret Hart was the Ultimate? First off, the Ultimate Warrior was the IC title before Bret Hart was. He had it at WrestleMania 6.
So whatever.
Bret Hart was in the tag team. Shawn Michaels? Razor Ramon?
I look at Shawn Michaels. I look at Shawn Michaels as that heavy.
The Rock?
To me,
okay, we can't go through the entire lineage of the IC title.
But to me, those guys.
I'm a little excited. I'm sorry.
I literally view them as heavyweight champions versus IC champions, because I don't think when you got the IC belt at that time, that was okay. You're the next man up. But I view them with the Warrior. His title reign was so quick, right?
It wasn't that good.
Exactly. That's right. But as an Intercontinental Champion, he was different. I think he really, in my generation, I'm older than both of you.
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy that was the guy of our generation.
Mr. Perfect? Okay, sorry.
Mr. Perfect's trash. Trash, Kurt Hennig.
I'll put you through this table when you say some other nonsense like that on this show. That type of
Kurt Hennig was trash.
He kept going so long. What was the question again?
I don't even know. He went so long and whatnot, and he said some horrible stuff that I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know my train of thought right now. You don't say Mr. Perfect was trash. You need to take a lap around here so you could be perfect one day. But nonetheless.
Well, I do know we were talking about this card.
We're talking about the card and we're talking about Gunther. That's how it was.
Do you, for this card, do you want to see more tomfoolery about this card, or do you want it to be let most of these matches play out, who's in the ring, and let them go at it?
I want the tomfoolery. I want the shenanigans. I want the chicanery. I want it to happen in every match. Give me Jey Uso. Give me Rikishi. Give me Solo. Give me everybody.
Yeah.
Io Sky and Bailey, of course. Give me Damage Control. I wish Sasha Banks didn't sign with AEW, because then I would say, hey, maybe they could give us a Sasha run-in to make the save for her best friend Bailey.
Damage Control versus the 4 Horsewomen.
Every match, I want shenanigans to happen. Where I don't know if you guys seen it, maybe a little Easter egg when The Rock was giving Cody his bloody beatdown. Oh, giving Mama Rose the blood on the belt.
Yeah.
And then you saw on the truck, and you got the internet spoilers. Oh, that truck that they had lit, it had John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Which is
Could
weird.
that be an Easter egg?
It could
Yeah,
be.
give us me that too.
But I think the other trailer had an Easter egg too.
It did. Hold on. My guess is, how the hell did they even see John Cena? I saw Stone Cold on there. How did they see John Cena on there? I got to go back and watch it because I missed John Cena being on there.
Hasn't been seen in 20 years. I want every match that it makes storyline sense. Not even, it doesn't need to make the most storyline sense. I just wanted, in every match where it can get a pop out of me, especially the Dom and Rey Mysterio match. Give me everybody in the LWO. Give me everybody in Phantasma. Where I don't know if you guys been seeing it, but Joaquin Wilde, where he does like these incredible leaps, and we're just out of the ring, and it's just, he's just gonna leap from halfway off the rope and just fall on the 5 people. Give me all of that.
Okay.
I want more action outside of the ring than inside of the ring.
Fair enough, and I asked that question only because in past WrestleManias, there's been almost seems like a split between fans. between the tomfoolery, interferences, and surprises at Mania, or the lack of let these two figure it out for themselves, because we really want to see what it is. So I wanted to get the gauge from you two on that. Both great ideas. I want to mix of both. I think some matches, it's worth it. Others, I think, no, let it play out. Like the Jimmy and Jay Uso, I don't mind if Rikishi comes down there or it's solo, but because it makes sense because it's the dad, it's the brother, it's the family going at it. But then for something like Io Sky and Bayley, I kind of want those two to go one-on-one. I kind of want to see who is the better one. LA Knight, AJ Styles, I kind of want to see that go one-on-one straight. Gunther and Sami Zayn, unless they plan on doing something where Chad Gable could be injected into it right there on the spot, let them go at it one-on-one, because that is the ring general who will continue his dominance.
Well, what are Kaiser and Vinci supposed to do? I need them to get a run in. I don't care if it's just the henchman taking a bump and that's it. I need the Good Brothers for LA Styles.
Yes.
Excuse me, LA Styles. LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Yes.
Just take a bump or two. Maybe it's not that much interference, but I need everybody to get that WrestleMania paycheck.
Hey, I know he's hurt. I know he's hurt.
That's
But
fair.
CM Punk interfering with Seth freaking Rollins and Drew
Well, he's going to be on
McIntyre.
commentary.
That's what I'm saying. So
he's
there is
gonna
going to be
He
some.
can pick up a chair and do the right thing. Maybe we get it.
Okay, we're
What
about
you mean about doing the right thing?
We're going to get into that part when we get into the predictions, so we're going to start with that right now. So as it lays out, just looking right here online, night one, we're going to open up. Becky Lynch is going to be challenging Rhea Ripley for the women's title. Mommy, taking on the man. What are your thoughts? How do you see this playing out? And give me your prediction. Joe,
All right, look. I'm going to give you two parts to this.
you cannot play both sides of the
No,
coin.
I'm not. I'm adding to it.
Okay.
I think Becky defeats Mommy. But I think this is where Jade Cargill comes into play. I think Jay ends up defeating Becky and becomes that heel, because there's no better heel for women than Jade. Jay's a phenomenal. Her biggest stuff at AEW, she was phenomenal as a heel there.
She was awesome.
So I think this is like the interjection. So Becky wins, and then Jade ends up facing her down the road, maybe in Scotland, and then gets the title.
That's going to be a tremendous push right away, but like you said, she is a start to make it. I don't know what it is, but she has it.
She fine. That's what it is.
Well, no, not just that, but she
Brandon
has an aura
Phillips,
about her.
salute, man.
She
Hey,
has the aura about her as well when she's on camera. She
Yes.
just grabs you, not just from an attractive standpoint. Her presence, how she carries herself, walks, poses. It's just something about her. She's one of those factors that we see and just have it. What are your thoughts on Ripley, Mommy, taking on the man, Lynch?
I think that Becky Lynch, everything's going in her favor. She is the biggest star in the women's division in WWE. But the reign that Rhea Ripley has been on, I mean, this run has been historic. How she is growing in popularity each and every day. We know that the following that she is getting on social media, she goes viral. The thirsting and she embraces the thirst from all of the fans that she has. I think that it makes sense for Rhea Ripley to keep this title. Do I expect this to be a great match? Maybe we get a little interference from the rest of the guys in Judgment Day.
Okay.
I expect to see Dirty Dom out there bumping for the man.
I got a question though. I got a question with Judgment Day. Do you think this is going to be the end of Judgment Day?
Well, I was going to get into that myself, so
Okay.
thank you for bringing that up.
My bad. I didn't
But
know.
no.
But I think Rhea
You're
Ripley
good.
retains it.
See, that's what I was going to say is that, like you, if she loses, is that the ripple effect to go down the rest for Judgment Day? We've been seeing little cracks here and there in the armor that they have. And I feel like they've been doing that ever since R-Truth left. Since they kicked R-Truth out the group, I really do feel like they've really taken a turn for the worse. He made that group. He's been with them since day one, since they was knee high to a cheese high. I don't know why they got rid of him. We've all seen it. But this is one of those where I'm like torn, because I can see Rhea Ripley's dominance continuing on, and she proves that no, you were great during your time. Mommy's in charge now. But then I can see the man coming back and saying, no. You only held on to that because I went and started a family. This is still my damn time. I'm still the baddest one walking around here. But I do have to make a prediction. I'm going with Becky Lynch to go ahead and be new world champion. We'll see how it goes from there. We talked about it already, so let's jump into it. Gunther, the ring general, taking on Sami Zayn. Is this finally the time Sami cashes in on his own popularity that he's got over the years? Because now he's no longer Uzi, but he is popular, or does the ring general continue his dominance?
the Ring General continues his dominance. It makes all the sense in the world to me. You keep Gunther dominant. You keep him champion for as long as possible. And with 2 historic championship reigns when it comes to length on this card, you can't have both of them ended. You can't have both of them ended. So I'm giving a little spoiler for I think the night 2 main event is going to be. But I think you keep Gunther strong. Sami Zayn, he is the ultimate underdog. You know, he is the babyface of babyfaces, and his story is always better when he's chasing. So let him chase a little bit longer.
Man, he's been chasing for a long time. I don't know how much thread he got left on the tires. Joe, what say you?
I have to agree with the line, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I like Sami Zayn. I do. I love the story. I love the fact that they played the whole Rocky line on Raw this past week.
They did, yeah.
They played
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid. And then he's working harder. No, we started laughing at it. Like, how many people pick up that reference? Philly, Sammy. But that makes me think there is a possibility for him to beat Gunther. Just because of that whole underline. If you want to do good TV, cinematic TV, but the Ring General is just, he's too big, too strong. He's just that guy.
Now, if they could, and I know Gunther and Terry's going to put it off, they had Chad Gable go in there, shake the hand in his hand, give him pep talk, and you know, Gunther's kind of walking around, hey boy, and Chad Gable turns around, he tries to shake his hand, don't want no has been shaking my hand, you better get that look off your face before I knock it off. Go ahead, jump, Chad. Come on, Chad. I think that'd be awesome right there, right? I think that'd be awesome.
Mr. T.
That's my impression right there. I gotta go with the Ring General. It's a clean sweep for us here. I gotta go with him because I'm with you. His reign's been phenomenal. I feel like whenever it's time to end his reign, that's when it's time for him to go for the heavyweight title. And if you don't plan on ending it right now, or if you don't have him in that particular category for that, keep him there. It's been phenomenal to see him go through it time and time again. From his time in NXT to being on the main roster, he has been completely dominant, and he has shown through and through. The Royal Rumble going the longest, or in every single match that he's in. No matter who you put in front of me in that square circle, I'm just a little bit better. My chest is hurting right now just thinking about, wow! All the stuff he's going to be doing.
Credit Triple H for his push, too.
Oh, very much so. But it's well deserved. You know, it's pro wrestling. It is what it is. But you got to earn your spot. And then you got to keep it while you're there. You know that and whatnot. So you got to earn it and keep it. And he's done that head and shoulders above everybody. This is going to be an interesting one. Going back to the Judgment Day, we are going to have the six-pack team ladder match. I love ladder matches at WrestleMania. I wish they brought Money in the Bank back. But nonetheless, they're going to do a tag team version. The champion, Finn Balor, Damian Priest from Judgment Day, will be defending against DIY or the New Generation X. Depends who you ask.
Regeneration
X. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa taking on Awesome Truth. Miz and R-Truth taking on the New Day. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. They'll also be taking on A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, Gary Wilson, and New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate. Woo! What say you?
I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. I love New Catch Republic. Love the Brits. British strong style. Big strong boys.
They are phenomenal.
But I think you got to give R-Truth a WrestleMania moment.
Kind of feels like it, right?
Got to give R-Truth a WrestleMania moment. Awesome Truth. But I don't know if they've announced this yet, but I would like to see if they just separated the titles. So maybe it could be the WrestleMania match. I can't think of the exact card where you had He Who Should Not Be Named, Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental and the European.
Yeah.
So it was almost 2 matches in one.
Yeah, I know what
where,
you're talking
hey, if you grab the SmackDown titles, now you're the SmackDown champions. And maybe someone else, hey, you grab the Raw Tag Team Championships, you are now the Raw Tag Team Champions. So that way you can separate those titles and have, 2 teams look victorious at WrestleMania.
Real quick, should we just combine the tag team titles? Having 2 seems a bit too much.
No, I
should
like
we just combine them, make them one.
The roster is so deep that I think it's nice to have championships on each brand.
I agree, actually. I agree with that.
Excuse me. Okay, fine.
So, for me, did we just become best friends?
Did we really?
We became best friends. Yes, we did. Wait.
You guys just became best friends. You guys see this right here? I haven't had a carb in 6 hours, okay? So you like this right here? You don't get this from having stepbrothers. You know, you guys said best friends.
I got you, Derek. I got you, Derek. I got you, Derek.
Pay for these music lessons
So
for a reason.
I'm just figuring out which one of us is going to punch you in the face.
Let's find out. I'll probably see this. You better back up. You walk over, you're limping back.
Nah, you know what? I agree. Though. I think this has to be an R-Truth moment.
Okay.
I think they've in low key have been building him up since with the whole joining Judgment Day and then getting kicked out and getting his ass beat every single chance that Damian Priest has. I love this fact, and I think, is there a bigger fan favorite than R-Truth?
In this particular matchup of superstars, it's going to be hard to find one.
And it goes to my theory that this is the end of Judgment Day. Now they lose the tag. If Rhea loses, they lose the tag team titles. They have no titles at this point.
That's true, but somebody does have a certain briefcase that could bring one back before the weekend's over. But I'm with you, R-Truth, one of the most decorated champions of all time. You know he's a 56-time 24/7, 365, 711, 911, 211, 411, 2289, 4090210 champion. That's the truth right there. I like him, but I tell you what. I like A-Town Down Under.
No, okay.
God, I hope not.
No.
Your next match on the card.
I'm going to end it real short. Here's the only reason. Out of all these, who's going to gain the most heat? Them.
Okay,
They will gain the most heat from this, and they will be the most hated champions from this. Whether they're booing or hating you, I need you to react. I think for a surprise, they might be able to pull off the sneaky upset. I just think so. Next on the card, we got the Battle of the Brothers. We saw the first one happen, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10. We saw the second one, WrestleMania 25, Jeff, Matt Hardy. Now we are seeing Jimmy and Jay. Which one's which? Yeet, no yeet. What do you guys thoughts on this? Yeet, no yeet.
Yeet.
You getting that?
100%. Hey, look, they've been building main event Jay up for so long, and he's been taking so much shit from back in last WrestleMania, and for him to be this close to winning the title multiple times. Now he's got a chance to beat his brother on the big stage. I think this is it for Jay. I love this for Jay. I hope that God is Jay, but yeah, my pick is Jay.
Yeet, no yeet.
It's obviously Yeet. But I would love some Rikishi. I would love some Solo. Jey Uso is main event Jay. I think the bloodline starts with him. I think that you could say the bloodline story this is Jey Uso's story. If they were really playing it right for who's the real hero of this story. The prince who was promised. It's Jey Uso. He was the first victim of his cousin when he became the Universal Champion.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be him to finish the story. And on the path to that is defeating his brother, his own twin brother. So you could make the case that this is Jey Uso's story that we've been watching all along. But this match here, him and his brother, they both talked about this. They've wanted this match. This is going to be the pinnacle of their careers, taking each other on one-on-one at WrestleMania, but Jey Uso all day.
Man, look, Jimmy's been out there. He was having me in tears during the Royal Rumble trying to get everybody to get on board. I love the fact that he got the long hair. He's got a personality. I really do feel he's one of those guys that's a bit underrated, and he potentially could go on the next run himself. But listen to both of you. That thinking back on what you were saying and just thinking about how he's been pushed. I'm for real. I went from no to yeet. I'm with Jay on this one as well. Before what you guys said, you really did. I was going to go no yeet. But I do think that'll be the right path because that's an interesting one. Does Jay finally find a way to come all the way back around and finish his story? Or is he maybe going to stop a different long title reign from a certain Veen General? We don't know. We don't see. But I do love this one right here. I think this could potentially be one, if they do it right, could be one of those matches you walk away from saying that's one of the best matches of the night right there. The emotions are going to be there. The energy is going to be there. The family ties are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I certainly cannot wait for that one in particular. It was brought up earlier, so we're going to get to this one quick. Damage Control taking on Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill here, and Naomi. It may be a short one, but you got 6 phenomenal females going out there trying to do class. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I like Jade, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. Call it what it is. Look, I think Jade is going to be the face of female wrestlers for the foreseeable future. And I think with her, you put her with Bianca and Naomi. First of all, from a whole different standpoint, I love it. I think it's great for young children POCs that look at it like, I can do this too. And for me, I got a disdain for Damage Control. Like I really don't like any of them. I think they're whack. I think honestly I do. I don't.
Oscar?
I told you straight up.
You did.
I told you the crib. I don't see how they can hold the damn belts.
You did.
Like
You
I
did.
think it's time that it's a wrap. But I like that as a triple threat match. I like the sisters, man.
That's
just
fair.
my thing.
That's fair. Yeah, like sis for more than one reason. I get no. That's
Real
fair.
talk.
That's fair right there, man. What do you?
6-woman tag. I'm going with Bianca, Naomi,
Okay.
and Jade. Also, Bianca's never lost at WrestleMania, and I don't
True.
think she's got the new streak going in the women's division.
Oh, that's a good
Her
point.
favorite nickname that I love that the internet's given her is Jane Cena, where she's got that John Cena streak. She ain't losing. They not, maybe she ain't got the title right now.
But she's not losing.
She not losing. So I do think that this is good. Jade gets to work with two phenomenal veterans.
Yes.
With being on the team, and then the pros that she's going across from Asuka,
Man.
Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai, where this is like Damage Control. They've been on a heater, and I like that this isn't for the titles just yet. So Damage Control, they can still keep those women tag team titles, and maybe whoever Jade teams up with down the line, whether that be Naomi or Bianca, take the titles off of Damage Control, building up that rivalry even more.
This is a great matchup because, like you guys just both pointed out, we got 6 tremendous superstars here. It's a good thing for Jay to get in there. You're gonna be with some veterans on both sides. Big moment. It's a lot, but you're gonna be out there and hey, just like at the Royal Rumble, show us what you got. Bianca Belair or Jane Cena, as you said. That's a good point because on the flip side, Asuka's never won at WrestleMania. She's 0-5.
Ain't happening this one either.
So you brought that up, just like, damn. So it looks like it's going to be Damage Control going down on this particular one here. This one was a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie. It's interesting, but I felt like this should have been on the prelims. But we got Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on Santos Escobar and Dirty Tom and Nick Mysterio. I felt with it, felt like it should have been 5-on-5. They should have had the whole group from both going at it. That would have made more sense. But to only make it a tag team, I don't know. To me, that's a prelim match.
I disagree with you 1,000%. You got Dirty Dom Mysterio. This dude's done came out. He's like the king of Latinos in WWE now. where you also saw Andrade. He had to come and pay a little homage to Legado del Fantasma. Where the Latino World Order, I think what they've been doing is great, all the members. But if this was just a 5-man, we don't get that Carlito side look at Rey Mysterio. What you mean Dragon Lee? I'm the one who told you that Escobar was the snake in the first place.
Good
Who was
point.
plotting on you. So now, guess what I got to do? I got to plot on you. So I think that this is one of those matches where we see some shenanigans.
Some tomfoolery.
Carlito's going to take that bite out of the apple. He's going to tell Rey Mysterio, you're not cool. And that's going to be how Dominic Mysterio gets one up on his daddy. And then him and Santos Escobar get the win there.
They're about to boo him out that building so bad, but Joe, what do
The
you
pop
think?
that Dominic's gonna get from this crowd is gonna be crazy
We're not even going to hear the announcers. They might
At
as well
all.
just say, all right, guys, we're out.
at all. So I look at it like this. I want Ray and Dragon Lee to win. I want that. Just because, but I question why is Dragon Lee in this match right now? Isn't this his first match since coming to the WWE?
No,
I didn't see him
No,
on Raw or
but
SmackDown.
he
He had a
an
good
injury.
run on SmackDown.
He had a good run. I think it was an injury that he had that kept him out for a little bit.
Okay.
So he missed a little bit of time. Not tremendous, but he missed a little bit of time on that. But dude, he is phenomenal.
But here's the thing: Dominic hasn't won a match in how long?
Long time.
And we talk about
minute.
when we talk about streaks. I think it's a streak that Dominic beats his daddy, gets revenge from last year.
Oh, okay.
And but also again, I think he's the only one from Judgment Day that wins. And he has been leaning towards not being really a part of Judgment Day. You've seen him with Santos and the rest of it. I think Dominic's got his whole little other thing going on. This again, the demise of Judgment Day. Dominic wins, he dips out, they kind of disband, and that leaves Damian Priest with Money in the Bank to go. We'll get to that later with on Raw potentially. That's what I think.
I'm gonna go with Dom Mysterio and Escobar as well, just because I think it'll add more layers to this rivalry. Like you pointed out with Carlito, if he gets involved in some type of way, that adds to it. It gives Escobar and Tom some legit heat and makes them look like a legit threat going forward on how this rivalry unfolds. It's been fun to watch. Like I said, I just feel like when they put it together with no stipulations, nothing on the line, kind of felt like this should be on the prelims and whatnot, but it is some maybe not after
And that's why,
Mania.
I just want to see Zelina Vega. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. And that's why I said it should have been 5 because I feel like as good as she is in the ring as well, it would have been fun to see the ladies go at it a little bit in this particular rivalry. They got into a slapping contest on SmackDown. It would have been nice to see them involved in this a little bit as well. I know it's, it's 4 other males, so they got to make sure that they do the mix. They could have added to it, but nonetheless, that may be for a later story. But guys.
Okay. All right. What we got going?
The real reason we are here for night 2. We are going to see the biggest
You
tag
didn't get to
team.
the night 1 main event.
Did I say night 1 or night 2?
Night
You said
two.
night 2 right there.
My apologies, because I'm so excited I can't wait. But night 1, the main event. Biggest tag team in the history of WrestleMania. Some clown named Seth Rollins. Some crybaby named Cody Rhodes. They
Shut up,
think if they
bitch.
come together, you can't use the line against them, because if you think they're going to come together and take on the true mega powers, the tribal chief, and the final boss, you had another thing coming. The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. Cody and Seth wins. The Bloodline cannot be involved in the night 2 main event. But when the Rock and Roman Reigns win, it will be Bloodline rules, no limits. What are you guys' thoughts on the main event of night 1?
Night 1, you don't include you don't include the bloodline stipulation for bloodline rules if The Rock and Roman aren't going over. So I don't know what bloodline rules are gonna mean. He said, hey, that means Solo could be singing the national anthem if he wanted to. So I don't care I don't know what that's gonna mean for night 2, but you don't add that stipulation if they aren't going over. I think that's gonna play into they beat Seth Rollins down so bad that he's gonna be limping into his match 50%. Or obviously, the end of night 1, The Rock isn't coming back to job, brother. The Rock is going to get his hand raised like the Denzel meme, I'm leaving here with something. Yo, he at least leaving night 1
from around the way.
I'm from around the way. So I think that the Bloodline gets that victory night 1.
I agree, but I think I'm gonna give you a little preview of the pick for night 2. I think the Bloodline wins. But I think there's some dissension that happens within that win between The Rock and his cousin, Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And I think what ends up happening is it obviously leads to Seth and Drew in day 2, where I think we all assume that Seth will lose to Drew McIntyre in day 2. But I think there's going to be some quirks in this match, some tomfoolery. It's going to be a little bit closer than what people think. It's not going to be an ass whooping from the Bloodline like some people may want to say and what people believe. But this right here is going to set the tone for Sunday night and what's going to happen then.
Okay. All right, I see it. And who are you picking for the match? It doesn't matter who you're picking for the matchup, okay? Because let me tell you something right now. You guys all want to sit here and cry, oh, Cody. Shut your asses up, okay? Cody had an entire year. He had last year's WrestleMania to do it. Did he get it done? No. The Rock decided to come off the couch, come from Hollywood, and bless us with his presence. And what do you crybabies do? You go, oh, he needs to finish the story. I need to know how it ends. This is how it ends. Rock is gonna go down to the SmackDown Hotel, take that size 13 boot, shine that sumbitch up, turn it sideways, and stick it strap his blonde-headed ass, walking around here thinking he's Homelander. Let me tell you something, son. We try to come back and give you guys something epic. Okay, the tribal chief and the final boss. But you decided to stick your nose in here, talk about the bloodline, talk about the family. You decided to say this, we need to finish the story, we need to go on with social media, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something right now. This is an honor and a privilege you'll never get again. You will be standing in the ring going 1-on-1, 2-on-2 in this manner. But when you're in there, when the great one steps in, it's 1-on-1 with the great one in front of the millions and billions of the Rock's fans sitting here finally being able to see something. He ain't been around for 12 years and you want to come in here and cry talking about, I need to get in there. Then you got Seth walking around wearing pajamas, wearing his daughter's nightgown, wearing his wife's robe. What the hell is going on here? Wearing high heels thinking he's Dennis Rodman or Shaq? No, we're not playing that. It's 2024. We're not playing any of that nonsense going on. Roman Reigns has been on the longest title reign we have ever seen in modern history, and you guys want to come in here and disrespect that? You got The Rock coming in, looking all swole, beefy, coming in ready to put on the match, and next thing you know, you want to sit here and tell me, oh, I need to be involved in this. Kiss my ass, okay? Philadelphia, you will appreciate this. This ain't Beyonce where you gonna throw batteries at her. You ain't about to boo him like you did Santa Claus, and you ain't about to give him the steak eye like you did Stallone when he went there with Deuce Staley when the Eagles lost. No, because he'll whoop your ass like Kansas City did in the Super Bowl. Philly, let me tell you something right now. The Rock and Roman Reigns, the bloodline, will rise. They will stand victorious, and they will show all these jabronis out here what true wrestling is all about.
Paid for by the bloodline.
Guys, I just want to apologize, y'all.
And buy beer.
Hey, whew, got a little hot in there. And look, I ain't not going to admit, I was a little jealous. I was doing all those great impressions earlier, and I didn't have a good one in my pocket, so I said, damn, at some point I got to come back with mine. Forgive me, brothers, forgive me. But, hey, look, that's why I love wrestling, and that's why I'm so happy I did this with you guys, man. The passion it brings out of people and whatnot, good and bad, is phenomenal. And then something like this can only really happen to it. But that was like,
You should be at the crib on Monday night with us. Monday and Friday nights.
yeah.
It's over.
But that was night one.
That's not one.
It's only night one, gentlemen.
Yeah, we got another night.
I gotta go to rest. Come back to the next one because on night 2 we are going to end a historic night with some phenomenal matchups here. So let's jump right into them. Seth freaking Rollins would be putting his championship on the line against Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna start with you because I'm gonna give him his time to lay it out. What are your thoughts on Seth and Drew?
I think that this build has been fantastic. Drew McIntyre, the way he's built himself up as I'm the one who hurt CM Punk. That same CM Punk who's going to be on commentary, who's not going to be in the ring, hurt him at the Royal Rumble, won the Elimination Chamber, and he's telling Seth, you focus on, you're trying to help your buddy Cody, you need to be worried about me. I'm the real problem here. I'm the one who's going to take that title off of you. And I believe that that's exactly what Drew McIntyre is going to do. But here's the twist I want. You mentioned the chicanery, the tomfoolery. Here's what I want. I want a little bit. We saw in CM Punk when he was in AEW, just about every match was a Bret Hart tribute. Here's the Bret Hart tribute that I want.
I want to hear.
Shawn Michaels, the special guest referee. CM Punk, I want him to have that chair. He wants to hit Drew McIntyre because Drew has been giving it to him. No Diddy, for ever since he had that tricep injury, Drew has been the one, hey man, I'm benching 315, look at me. My arm's still intact, can't do that, can you? So he wants to hit Drew McIntyre with that chair. Drew moves at the last moment, pow! He hits Seth Franklin Rollins with that chair. CM Punk, can't live with himself. 1, 2, 3, Drew hits Seth with a Claymore. It's all that she wrote, and it's all because CM Punk got jealous and tried to make the main event about himself. Well, not the main event, but CM Punk tried to make the World Heavyweight Championship about himself, cost Seth Rollins the title. They get to keep the feud going strong, and Drew gets to be the shit-eating grin heel that won this match. Thank you, Punk.
I love it. When you said it's Shawn Michaels' best referee, I'm like, Shawn's gonna be the referee for this one? But then when you started explaining, I was like, oh, you went back to SummerSlam on that one.
It's The Undertaker.
Yes.
Bret Hart gets the win.
Yes, and that started the Taker and Shawn Michaels feud. I love it. I'm with you. Joe, Seth Rollins, your boy, Drew McIntyre, the floor is yours.
The highlights of franchise sports media being on Radio Row for me was to me Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Honest to God. I told him this. I didn't take a picture with him. I tried to get him on. He was pressed for time. He took a picture with him. I'm a Seth Rollins guy. That's my guy. Hey, I haven't liked the wrestler since I couldn't tell you the last wrestler I like, beyond Seth Rollins. That's my guy right there. What you just said gave me pause. So I was just gonna pick Drew McIntyre just because it keeps the CM Punk set storyline going. I'm gonna tell you. I love everything you said. And it's hard to dispute anything that you said.
Feel a butt coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Anything. I mean, this is the guy that'll fight anybody. He challenged The Rock on Monday night. But him and Roman didn't have the stones to fight him.
He didn't want that smoke.
He didn't want that smoke at all. They knew. They knew.
No, Rollins didn't want that smoke.
Solo didn't. Yes, he did.
He did.
Oh, he was all about that smoke.
You don't give away something for free when you can sell it.
That's
smart business.
Hey, Seth, on the other hand, he was taking care of Solo. I think what's going to happen is WrestleMania, they lose night 1, him and Cody. But night 2, I see interference with CM. I can see something like you said happen. But Seth is the people's champion. He's the fighting man's champion. On Monday, he'll take on anybody, anywhere. And just like his wife winning the title the night before against Mommy, Seth is gonna surprise everybody and beat the shit smile Drew McIntyre, sending him back to wherever he comes. I don't say Scotland, whatever. And he's gonna beat the, I don't say beat the brakes off of him, but he's gonna beat the shit out of him in a close match. And Drew, looking like the hoe that he is,
Wow.
because Drew's a better villain.
Yeah, of course he is.
Of course.
But he just signed his deal, so guess what? You're locked in, homie. You ain't leaving. Seth the guy, keep him. Gotta keep. And now him and CM go down the road. That's my Seth freaking Rollins.
I think that would
keeps the title.
I think that would have been the original plan if CM Punk didn't get hurt, is find a way for him and Seth to be in it. Not necessarily in the main event. I think that would have been the way to go, is have him and Seth Rollins go at it. Seth was already losing his mind when CM Punk made his appearance back, so I think that natural rivalry would have just been right there. But I love what both of you guys are saying, but we gonna hear Ian New. We're gonna hear Ian New at the end of this. Drew McIntyre has been on a roll. As good as Seth Rollins is, he ain't beat Drew. He ain't stopped Drew yet. And Drew's been laying guys to waste all this way along. He is on a mission while he's been making fun of Punk. Punk, you can't even take your shirt off because you might hurt your arm. He's also been keeping his eye focused on what's in front of him. And Seth Rollins, I think it's going to be a tremendous match. Seth always gives great matches. But you also know he's going to get it this time. I think his luck has ran out just a little bit. Still got the knee injury, still kind of limping around a little bit.
That.
He's going to be worked over from the night before after the great one that gave him the people's elbow. He's been Superman punched. He ain't going to know what's going on. He's going to go in there and get Claymore.
But to both of you, don't you think, because everything seems so, we see this happening, this is how it's laid out. There's got to be a twist.
No,
Wouldn't this be a
there
twist?
doesn't always need to be a twist.
There's going to be a twist at some point.
Not in this match, it won't be.
Yeah, you don't need a twist all the time. Just enjoy the show.
We will
that
see
is true.
Seth, I'm rocking with you.
But you know what, though? But that's what makes it interesting. Are you expecting a twist? Do you need some interference? Might you just see, hey, man, let's just see how it plays out? You don't know. And that's what I love about wrestling. When it's properly built, when you really don't know how it's going to play out, that's what makes it even better. That's what makes wrestling so fun. We also got another championship match. Bayley, the Royal Rumble winner, will be challenging former Damage Control member, teammate, Io Sky for the championship. What are your thoughts on Io Sky, Bayley for the women's title?
Man, look, at this point, I think Bayley wins because she's been taking lumps the entire time. But I would love to see her lose. Ooh, I would love to see Bayley lose. Because she acts like she whines too much. And she wants to play victim too much.
Okay.
It's like all the dirt that you done did with Damage Control, and you want to act like a little crybaby right now.
Ah, that's
like,
interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to. This is one where I can see her losing because I can see us open up other avenues for other women.
And Io Sky is a very good champion as well.
And she is. But I don't like her either, though. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
want to see Bayley get this win because, quote a movie, Uncle Elroy from Friday After Next. Now wait a motherfucker! I started this Damage Control in this motherfucker. Thanks, I did. Bayley brought her back.
She did.
Brought her back. Her and Dakota.
Yeah.
And this is you kick her out of Damage Control. Bayley, I love her as a baby face. I remember her in NXT, the hugging era, but now she has just evolved past that. Bayley gets her WrestleMania moment. I think that this build has been perfectly for Bayley to have that triumphant moment, pointing at the WrestleMania sign after winning the Royal Rumble. Her winning that SmackDown Women's Championship, Chef's Kiss is perfect.
I like Bayley winning this because for me, I feel like it's a balance. You don't want a big card like this with so many titles on the line and everyone retains or everyone loses. I think it's just one of those where we're going to get a new champion here. We're going to get a new champion between these two because I feel like, wait, what did I say before with the women's title? I think I picked Becky.
You pick Becky.
I picked Becky. Shit, okay. Io Sky. Can you have both do it? No, because I was thinking, okay, if one retains, the other one most likely is going to lose.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, you know, it's hard to go both ways. I love both. I would love, you know what, if she loses, that's an interesting story to go with there because she now going through this deep depression, going forward with it, building her character and allowing others to get a shot, or if she finally get her comeuppance and finally says, hey, that's Versace you stepping on, F-O, Sachi. We gonna see. Let's power through these next couple matches before we get to the main event. We got AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, taking on L.A. Knight.
Yeah!
What are your thoughts? LA Knight? Yeah! Taking on AJ Styles.
I think the LA Knight gets the win here because for a guy who's grinded, we know the story. It was a guy, over at FSW, he's a champion. They've got his picture on the wall where he was Eli Drake. I think that his story, a guy, he's in his 40s where he's just climbed and climbed and climbed. We know that AJ Styles is the new Mr. WrestleMania. He's taking that mantle from Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
But I think that LA Knight, it's not a lot of times in life where people go, oh, he deserves it. For me, I don't know how it plays out. What's going to happen on the next Friday on SmackDown? But just for WrestleMania, I think that LA Knight deserves a win.
Look, I can't take the 80s haircut. AJ Styles is like a 70s rock star. Like he's the 8th member of Journey. I can't take it anymore, okay? It's because he listens to the Eagles on a regular, okay? And has Black Sabbath playing on a Tuesday. I know. LA Knight's from the West Coast. West Coasters, West Side stand-up. LA Knight, yeah, for the win.
Some can be good. Some might even be great. There's only one that's phenomenal. It ain't gonna be tonight. Because when you hear the 1, 2, 3, everybody's gonna be saying, LA Knight. Yeah. I love LA Knight going out there because like you, I feel like his story has come to the point where, look, dude, he's one of the hottest guys in the star. He's earned his comeuppance. He's fought his way back to the top. I feel like you gotta keep that momentum going forward. I love AJ Styles. But I feel like he's an established character. Losing won't necessarily hurt him so much, but I do feel for LA Knight, he's got to get that momentum back if he wants to get back into a major title role, which is his aspiration. I would love to see it. Hell, this might even end in a double disqualification where we really don't get a winner. That way it doesn't hurt either one. We shall see. But I'm looking forward to this one without it being, it's a singles match, not a street fight, not a home invasion match, but it is what it is. This one's going to be interesting. The triple threat match for the United States Championship.
Let's go.
Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. LP, baby! What are your thoughts on the champion in the triple threat match against two known to turn their back on people?
Logan Paul's a bitch.
Okay.
Logan Paul been a bitch, he stays a bitch, will always be a bitch, and Logan Paul is a perfect WWE wrestler.
Gotcha.
He is. I love the fact that Logan Paul is where he's at. I will say this though. The thing that's captivating for me with this match is what's going to happen with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens after they beat the shit out of him and they got to fight each other. Because I love them as a tag team. I think that could be a dominant tag team going forward. The RKO, they could RKO KO literally. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I look at it like this. I think Logan Paul wins because what's happening in Cleveland not too distant future? Where is Logan Paul from?
Yeah.
I think Logan Paul finds a way for them to turn on each other, finds a way to win sneakily, and then that's just my deal.
You son of a gun. You son of a gun.
I told you I did my homework.
You did.
Yeah, you said we got to power through a couple of these. I'm taking Logan Paul. Easy. Give me a little KSI. Give me a little Jake Paul if we can. You know, give me some brand inclusion with somebody, you know, getting a prime knocked out of the hand or something. You know, give a couple of good right hands. Make it a squash. Make Logan Paul look like the strongest champion in WWE history. 2 right hands. Drop them both. Give him Roman Reigns treatment. Stack them. Pin them. 1, 2, 3. Go home. Logan Paul, one of the best wrestlers of all time.
He's still a bitch.
Did you just say you want Logan Paul to squash Randy Orton and Kevin Owens?
2 right hands.
Ding, ding, ding. Pow, pow.
Like KO on SmackDown last week.
That would be so awesome if he did something that crazy. It just
it'd be crazy. Yo, maybe you got to throw in like a little buckshot Larry in there. You know, so maybe you know.
Dude, look, it's so wild and crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to see it now.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see it because it is one of those. I'm with you. I feel like because those two are gonna be kind of focused on each other and trying to beat up him so bad. Then it's like, hey, only one of us could do it, like the Royal Rumble. Then he comes in at some point. But the fact that you want him to knock out, what is it, 14-time world champion Randy Orton, multiple-time world champion Kevin Owens, just bam, bam, done. I'm going with Logan Paul as well, surprisingly, in this one, I guess, because it just makes sense that he carries it on, especially with Cleveland coming. Although, if he loses, nothing says he can't challenge for a title in Cleveland, and then he's the underdog, hometown favorite, trying to go get the win. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. What I'm very curious about is this one right here. The Pride. Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford. Taking on excuse me, the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akeem and Razor. It's going to be interesting. They have been a thorn in Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits side since they've returned, but they've looked phenomenal. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits need to get some revenge. What are your thoughts on this 6-person tag?
I might be the biggest Karrion Kross fan.
Why is that?
Because he's an FSW guy.
There you
I
go.
remember when we shot a promo together one time, and like just him taking me through the psychology of, hey man, this is what we're gonna shoot for the promo, like how like his mind for the business, where he's scripting out a movie scene for us. And he brought me Carl's Jr. after we shot that together. And I was like, man.
He said that double Western bacon was
exactly. You want to get whatever you want. Whatever you want.
You want to get the mom's pick, Bob Carl's Jr.
What a guy. Man, what a nice guy, man. Everybody's got you wrong, man. Yo, when he signed to the W, it was like one of those we all made it.
We all made it.
But I say all that to say, I'm taking the profits with my pick.
Hey, thanks for Carl's Jr. It wasn't that day. Now I feel you. It wasn't 5 guys. So there you go. That's
He had the WWE money at the time.
Yeah, I understand that as well. What about you in this particular one? Do you like the Final Testament, Karrion Kross and AOP?
No, I like the Street Profits, but what I like about it though is the WWE tried so hard to turn them heel, and the fans wouldn't allow it to happen. And I love that. And I'm a big Montez guy. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is about him, I'm drawn to him as a wrestler.
He's got the it factor.
He does. It has nothing to do with Bianca. Point that out. But I think that. Now I take that back. I'm going the other way. Fuck it. I'm going the other way.
Final Testament?
I'm going Final Testament.
All right.
See, that's what I was kind of thinking as well, because with them being a heel faction, you got to have legit heels. And they got to feel like legit threats. But if you have them lose on every time it's time for a big event, then where's that threat really coming from? But I do love what you said about the Street Profit and Bobby Lashley. They've gained so much respect for the work that they've done. They're so charismatic and they're so entertaining. How do you boo them? Montez Ford, but also Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
For a man his size to be that athletic and move the way he does, those guys, they blow my mind every time I watch them. I'm like, dude, these guys are awesome. It's one of those where you say, if it ever comes a time where you both have to go off and try singles opportunity, do it like the New Day. Don't break them out the traditional way. Just say, hey, my man, I got your back if you need me. I'm going to go out here and challenge you. They've done it a few times with Montez Ford. We'll see what happens going forward. For obvious reasons, I got to go with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
You're rubbing yourself, bro.
Oh, no, I wasn't
Why
saying
are you rubbing yourself,
I was not
bro?
saying anything
He was in the
whatsoever.
military. You were in the military.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
See, there
We
you
both
go.
US
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Montez Ford as well, another veteran. Yeah.
See, the mind pick though it was. I wasn't trying to send any other subliminal messages on my pick Bobby Lashley and the Street Profit. None whatsoever. I don't want to lose my card either. But
It's been pulled.
I say all that, and we've said everything else. We're in the final chapter. The main event. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Bloodline rules or no bloodline, we'll wait after night 1. Will the story be finished? Will the reign continue? What are your thoughts?
It'll be Bloodline rules. And it's going to be one epic match. 45 minutes. Ooh, at least. At least. And at some point,
Don't you dare start taking my momentum.
we're gonna see
Solo come
old
out.
members from the bloodline come out.
Okay.
Older members. Then Cody's family come out.
Ooh.
And Seth come out.
Okay.
And that's gonna put Jay in a position.
Where does he go?
But what's gonna happen is The Rock is gonna turn on Roman and Cody finishes the story. That's what I think happens.
Oh, I love it. What are your thoughts? I love it.
I want Cody Rhodes to win. I want the pyro to last for 30 minutes after the match. Cody Rhodes, he's a wrestler that maybe when he was in WWE, when he had the Stardust gimmick, I didn't believe in Cody Rhodes. But then on the indies, I remember buying the Cody Rhodes Bullet Club t-shirts. He got me into watching Being the Elite, because I was like, oh, they got Cody Rhodes now? This dude's a big deal. When he started AEW, I remember that being a big deal. I remember being backstage for that first Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and Cody's telling us, hey, we're all here for a reason, me being a part of that show, and Cody was the guy rallying the troops. So for me to watch this guy's story, for like how much he's had to put into this, him losing last year, they were right. I was disappointed in him losing last year in WrestleMania 39, but they built him up to be even bigger and better. Roman Reigns, I do not care about him breaking Hulk Hogan's record for the longest champion of the modern era. I do not care about that. It's an artificial date. With Hogan, they probably added some fake dates in there anyways. Who knows? He wasn't wrestling on TV the same way.
Well,
Roman is
one
either.
of those years he wrestled over 400 days in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. So, Roman, we can't even keep track of all
That's a
Hogan's
legit thing
lives.
that he said. He really said that.
You got to factor in the travel from Japan.
Yeah, because he was going overseas in Japan, so the time difference, you got to factor those days in. So realistically,
Yes.
yeah.
But with Roman Reigns, I think he's done a phenomenal job. I do want all of the shenanigans in this match, but I don't want The Rock to interfere. I expect Cody Rhodes to win because he can't lose 2 years in a row. Where can he go from here? I know that the chase is always the best part. Finding out, the whodunit is always more fun than the why when it comes to the crime. But for me, Cody Rhodes, he's got to finish his story right here.
Well, wait, let me point this out. With The Rock interfering, sets up WrestleMania next year,
No, of course.
potentially in Vegas.
Right here, baby. No, it's if you go with finishing the story, it's phenomenal because it was great storytelling for this long to keep people engaged. He lost last year, and the fans did not leave him. They stayed by his side. They kept rooting him on. They kept they kept going with him the entire time because they knew 99 out he's going to give you everything he's got, whether it's on the mic or in the ring. And he's been fighting the fights. He's been fighting the battles, going through everyone that was put in front of him. And it's been great to see his story. But then Roman Reigns, I know you guys aren't for it. I like it though. I love the idea that we're getting somebody today going on a run that we never thought we would do. It's like basketball for Russell Westbrook the first year he averaged a triple-double. We never thought we were going to see anyone do that from Oscar Robertson. Maybe this guy, but he never did. Russell did it. He did it multiple years. I love the fact that Roman's been on this path and he's made everyone he's faced feel bigger. He feels like a main eventer. Guys who weren't even back into the big picture, he made them feel like that. I would love it if they did shenanigans, but let me throw this out. Bloodline comes in, these wrestlers come in. I even say bring in some other guys, maybe some nobody can see. I just can't wait if a certain
Last rings off.
and then you see The Rock. He turns back. That's his nemesis. But here's what I'm thinking. None of them touch Roman or Cody. They could pull the referee out from counting to 3. They stop each other, but they never ever touch each other. Why? Because if Cody does win and finishes, Cody then says, you have no excuses. He didn't hit you with a Stone Cold Stunner. He didn't give you an attitude adjustment. He didn't give you the sweet chin music. He didn't hit you with a chair. I beat you one-on-one. You did everything you could. You brought your entire family and rode 432 down here with Jason Kelsey to stop me from getting the title. And I still got it from you. Every shenanigan, every trick in the book you try to pull, I topped it and I beat you. No excuses. Straight up, I won. Or Roman Reigns is going to spit the shit out of him. He's going to continue to reign on it, raise his hand one more time. We're going to see how it plays out.
Solo comes from out of nowhere.
So who's your
gives him the thumb.
pick?
He gives him the spear.
So you ain't put me on the spot like that, but I'm going to go with Code Roman Reigns
Of course you
retains
would.
and
Of
goes
course.
forward.
Of course.
This is greatness on another level, a.k.a. God. Cody's
Mama,
arms are too short to box with a guy.
Mama Rose gonna lift this hand up.
Oh, that would be something. Can she even lift her hands and throw daddy-o? Or she's just going to be there too emotionally tied up in her baby boy finally win the title? Yes, sir. That's a homage to the late, great Dusty Rhodes. But WrestleMania 40, guys, it's going to be historic. It's going to be phenomenal. I love the fact that we were able to sit down and talk about it, all these great matches. And then think about it. We got the night after WrestleMania. We can't even wait to see what's going to happen there. I don't know if I'm able to hold myself. I can't wear white pants that day for obvious reasons.
No Diddy.
Dmon Cotton, Joe Rigo, Kalani Lewis. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Franchise Sports Media here for our special WrestleMania 40 edition. We'll come back to you more with this. Make sure you go to franchisesportsmedia.com for all your love of sports and combat sports as well. Till next time, fans. See you then. Hey.
Yeah.